When people describe color, landscapes, images to you, what do you imagine?
I could visualize the entire thing quite precisely because I have seen colors, I've seen images. The images which exist in my memory seem to be quite vivid. But for those who are born blind, those who have never seen colors, I believe that they won't be able to visualize exactly what people are trying to explain to them. But again, it all depends how well a person could describe to them about an image. However, certain images which is beyond reach, like perhaps mountains or river, ocean, definitely there's no way a blind person could visualize precisely. And on top of that, coming to colors, obviously most blind people, they could not perceive colors exactly like what the sighted person could see. Participated in a survey on how visually impaired people or how totally blind people perceive colors. So based on that research, I came to know that normally they try to relate colors with objects which is around them. See white as something which is clean, or black with something which is dark and dirty, and orange directly to the fruit. Even harder for them to see colors when the colors has got tones and shades. So there's no way someone who's blind can exactly see colors like others. But it is different for those who are low vision, where they could see colors, especially when there's a lot of contrast.
Are your other senses heightened because you are blind?
Other senses that we have normally will be heightened, but it doesn't happen to everyone. It varies according to individuals, but generally the hearing ability and also the smelling ability becomes stronger. This is very important because we really need to depend on our hearing ability, hearing senses, and as well as smelling senses, especially when we are walking around.
What are the common misconceptions other people have about blind people?
They are normally underestimated, especially when the blind try to apply for a job. The employers are not convinced about the ability of the visually impaired or the blind. Some of the visually impaired, they seem to have so much of confidence in moving around. So when the sighted see them, they normally don't believe that this person is someone who's visually impaired, because in the visually impaired community itself, there are few different categories like B1, B2, B3. So these categories can be differentiated by the degree of eyesight that they have. For instance, those who are B1 are those who can't see at all or totally blind or only have some form of light perception. This category of people can be quite easily identified, but for those who are B2 and B3, they are the category which has a little bit of eyesight, so they can move independently. So when they walk, they do not use cane. Sighted people or the public, they don't realize that these people also at times needs assistance.
Do blind people prefer a companion?
Basically, everyone would like to have a companion. So Similarly to those who are visually impaired, they also would like to have companionship. Talking about living independently, obviously the blind people can live independently. There are a lot of blind people, not only in Malaysia but in all part of the world, have been living alone, independently, capable of doing a lot of things on their own without depending on sighted. Some of them, they even travel all around the world without having assisted by another sighted person.